Do not forget to subscribe in the channel and activate the bell button. Press the like. This is to encourage us to continue. A sign of a humanitarian disaster. Azovstal's ordeal continues in Mariupol. Ukraine's Mariupol mayor Vadim Boychenko said on Tuesday that more than 200 civilians were still holed up with fighters at a huge steel plant in the city of Azovstal. He explained that about 100,000 civilians in total are still inside the city in southern Ukraine, which is occupied by Russian forces. The plight of the trapped civilians in Mariupol, which faced weeks of bombardment before Russian forces took most of it, was a humanitarian concern as the war entered its third month. Thousands are believed to have died while supplies of water, food and medicine ran out for those still stuck in the besieged Azovstal complex, which has provided shelter for many thanks to the network of bunkers and tunnels below. The situation has become a sign of a real humanitarian catastrophe, Ukrainian Deputy Prime Minister Irina Vereshchuk said. Russian President Vladimir Putin's forces now control nearly all of the city on the Sea of Azov, which links Russian-controlled territories to the west and east. Moscow said last week that it had decided not to storm the steel plant and would besiege it instead, but the bombing continued. The Russian military said 126 people left Mariupol in safe convoys on Saturday and Sunday from the steel plant and other areas, heading to the separatist-controlled Donetsk. He added that 57 of them chose to stay in that region, while the others decided to leave for Ukraine-controlled areas. Pope Francis, I asked to meet with Putin in Moscow. Pope Francis said in an interview published on Tuesday that he had requested a meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow in an attempt to stop the war in Ukraine, but had not received a response. The Pope told Italy's Corriere della Sera newspaper that Patriarch Kirill of the Russian Orthodox Church, who supported the war, cannot become a servant of the altar for Putin. Earlier, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called on Pope Francis to visit his country and mediate between Kiev and Moscow to end the war in Ukraine. The Pope, who made an unprecedented visit to the Russian embassy when the war began, told the newspaper that about 3 weeks after the conflict began, he asked the Vatican's chief diplomat to send a letter to Putin. He added that the message was, "I am ready to go to Moscow. It is absolutely necessary that the Kremlin leader allow this, but we have not received a response yet and we are still striving." He continued, "I am afraid that Putin will not be able or willing to hold this meeting at the present time. But how can one not stop all this brutality?" Pope Francis has not been specifically mentioned by Russia or Putin since the conflict began on February 24, but the 85-year-old Pope has left no doubt about which side he is criticizing, using terms such as unprovoked aggression, invasion and horrific atrocities against civilians. Do not forget to subscribe in the channel. and activate the bell button, press the like. This is to encourage us to continue.